Hello, family, friends, and fans. I'm Fletcher Roden, and this is Fletch Made Anything. Today on Fletch Made Anything, Bob Dylan, the ultimate lone wolf. Well, you probably know who he is. You may not know what that is. You really may not know who I am or what this is, but I'll explain it. It's Fletch Made Anything. It's a question and answer type show where you can pop in your questions and comments in the comment section of my YouTube channel or Facebook page. I'll get back to you. Then I'll talk about anything I want to talk about. One of the reasons I call it Fletch Made Anything. Another is that I'm Fletch. Fletcher Roden, if you don't know me. I'm a writer mostly. I got a ton of books available under my name and others. They're fiction and nonfiction, available in paperback and Kindle and audiobook format. If you've got Audible or iTunes, check me out there. I'm a recording artist too, with lots of music you can download all over the internet. Some of it's comedic, some of it's quite serious. I also have paintings you can buy directly from my website, and coffee mugs and t-shirts you can get from Cafe Press, such as this cool one if you're a Sopranos fan. Better coin Melvoin. If you're in trouble, Corrado. Anyway, okay, so I suggest that you subscribe to this channel. That'll make finding these videos easier, and that'll make getting a free book easier. I give away a free book at the end of every month. It's not just one book. It's unlimited downloads of a Kindle edition of one of my books. You don't need a Kindle tablet to read it. You can just download the Kindle Reader app from Amazon. That's free. And then you can read the book, or any Kindle book, on your laptop or your television or your telephone or your watch or your fingernail or wherever people are reading books these days. This week, this week I'm giving away Kindle editions of my new book, Tracking the Lone Wolf, The Sigma at Work, at Home, and at Play. It's a nonfiction book about just about everything. And it's good for just about everyone. It deals with the inner world and the outer world. It deals with your life at work, at home, and at play. It deals with personality disorders and leadership skills and management skills, communication skills. Also, personality types and personality complexes. You will learn so much about yourself and so much about the world around you. It's valuable for anybody at work, at home, and at play. It's valuable for the 1% who are Sigma personalities like me. But it's also invaluable for the other 99% who have to either work with, live with, or play with these people and themselves and one another. It's a complex world, and this book is a way to better understand it. If you've got teenagers, let me just say this book is invaluable for your teenagers. I hope my friends, my family, friends, and fans will share this book with their teenagers especially. I hope they'll read it themselves and share it with their kids. This is information I wish I had when I was a kid. It just wasn't available then. But this is the cutting edge of the latest information available in the soft science of psychology and business management and leadership. So, good book. Read it. It's free this week. Get one for your kids. I'm telling you. Because kids. The thing about it is, teenagers are in that existential period of life where they're trying to figure out who they are. And this book is about who you are in a way that you may not realize. It helps people to reconsider who they are. Also, teenagers have to learn things like social skills, communication skills, people reading skills. A teenager has to know who they're dealing with. Teenagers come across some dangerous types in this life, and they have to be able to see a sociopath when one is coming up their way. They have to recognize narcissism when it's happening to them or in them. A teenager has to know this. This is a guidebook for life. It'll set anybody on, it's lessons that will serve them throughout their lifetime. I can't tell you how much I feel that this is invaluable to everybody everywhere. So I've been talking about it all week, and it's not just a compendium of dry analyses. It's not just a list of traits. There are lists, though. But a lot of it is fun too. It's funny. I wrote it, and I'm not afraid to make with the yuck yuck. I've got a little bit of gamma in me, and it's it keeps it moving, keeps it fun. And I do things like I take The Godfather, the movies, and the book, The Godfather, the male characters, and I break down by alpha, beta, gamma, omega, delta, sigma, so that we can better understand these characters. And I use them as examples so we can better understand the concepts of alpha, beta, omega, gamma. I also do that in my live presentation, Tracking the Lone Wolf, because I'm a public speaker. So that's part of my presentation. And it makes it fun. It makes it interactive. It makes it interesting. I do it in my show, Tracking the Lone Wolf. I've got a show on another YouTube channel. You should subscribe to it. There's a link below. Where I talk about subjects from the book in a twice monthly show on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And I talk about the three guys from Jaws, Quint, Brody, and Hooper. And I use them to illustrate the alpha, beta, and sigma concepts. And I've done it with the Beatles, if you know this show. John Lennon is in the book as a case in point, a case study of John Lennon, if you're into that kind of thing. Also in the live presentation. And I did an episode of him, I think, on the show, Tracking the Lone Wolf, which is on the YouTube channel at Tracking the Lone Wolf. Okay. But now it brings us to Bob Dylan, who, now if you know me, if you know my work, I'm a fan of Bob Dylan. I like his work. I like I like him. I like his music very much. His output continues to be excellent. His last album was incredible. His last single, which was 24 minutes long, and I think had 2 chords in it, was his first #1 single ever, and he achieved it when he was like 80 years old. I mean, he's amazing, is Bob Dylan. Compelling, continues to be compelling. And Dylan is the classic lone wolf. Now, I can't go into the breakdowns right now, but you can go to one of the other webisodes this week of Fletch Anything, and I talk about what a sigma is, what a gamma is, what an alpha is. But the sigma is the lone wolf, and Dylan is the classic lone wolf. So let's look at how I come to that conclusion. Let's see, the sigma is disinterested in the opinions of others. That's Dylan all the way. Not reliant on systems. That's Dylan. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's got his own record label. He produces his own albums. He does what he wants. If he wants to do 3 albums worth of Frank Sinatra songs, that's what he's going to do. He doesn't care. He dances to his own drummer. He has a unique vision and he pursues it without compromise. He's not reliant on the systems. He doesn't care what the trends are. He doesn't really care. He doesn't need to by this time. Artistic diversity. This is a hallmark of the sigma. Why is this? Because the sigma spends so much time in isolated pursuit. That's a hallmark of the sigmas. They like to work alone for long periods of time. And that means that no one artistic pursuit can really fulfill them. You can only write so many songs in a row. You got to move on to painting. The sigma is intellectually curious, has the intelligence and the drive and the focus of the beta or even the alpha. But the sigma lacks the self-glorification of the alpha, which means they spend more time working than they do mingling. They're not as much into self-promoting as they are producing. They don't like to manage. They don't like to lead. They like to produce. That's Dylan. He leads only his band and I suppose his family. I'm sure at home he was probably something like an alpha or maybe a sigma. Hard to say. But at work, the guy's a sigma all the way. Even wolves are even common imagery in his songs. Howling wolf will howl. Uh, he's got the socially active conscience of a sigma, witnessed in his early folk songs. Death of Emmett Till, for example. The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll. And many, many others. The list goes on. But diversity, you look at Dylan and you think, well, not only is his music diverse from folk to folk rock to the singer-songwriter of the 1970s, he invented that. He reintroduced gospel music to a new generation and reinvented it almost. He took Christian music away from it's called Christian contemporary, and it was basically invented when the song You Light Up My Life came along, which everybody thought was a love song, and then they were aghast to hear that it was about God. And then everybody said, wait a minute, we could just write love ballads and say they're about God. And then Christian contemporary music was born. And it's what you think of when white people sing about Jesus. And it's very mild, bland pop, middle of the road, radio friendly, adult contemporary, inoffensive, Christian contemporary is what it's called. And it's a whole genre, and it's a multi-million-dollar industry. It is. And it's not wrong. It's not bad. It's good. It's fine. I don't listen to it, but it's fine. I record Christian music sometimes, or I have. I don't really anymore. But Dylan took Christian music back from the Christian contemporary people and brought it back to its roots, its Southern Baptist roots, gritty, grimy, dark, aggressive, fire and brimstone, Pentecostal, not radio friendly at all. Although Slow Train Coming did have You Gotta Serve Somebody, which was, I believe, a radio hit for Dylan. It certainly was a hit for him. It was a Grammy winner. He won a Grammy for the vocal. And I think the song won a Grammy. And the album, it reintroduced gospel to black audiences. It's that gritty. It's got that Muscle Shoals. It was recorded in Memphis. You know, it's got this, and Gotta Serve Somebody, everybody does it. You know how many times Gotta Serve Somebody has been re-recorded, has been covered? It's almost de rigueur. And all of his songs, so many of his songs from that period have been popularized by African-American performers. I don't know if that term is still in popular use, but it has been. So he's a leader. He's got the gravitas of the Sigma. He's got the allure. He's got the mystery. He draws people to them. He adapts. He's diverse. Then he went from Christian to making some of the best albums of the 80s. And then reinventing himself entirely as this brooding kind of, he makes music that no one else makes in the 90s. That he just cornered the market on, and then he did some old-timey parlor music. He introduced that into his thing. He became like a cowboy from the 1800s in 1990. And then the Sinatra stuff. Then he became a crooner. and gave the best songwriter in the world, gave up songwriting for like 5 albums. Instead, what did he do? Painter, Nobel laureate, New York Times best-selling author, radio personality. The guy who's known to be a mushmouth mumbler who you can never understand became a radio DJ whose job it is to speak. And he was quite articulate, by the way. It's just like Marlon Brando, also a Sigma. You know, you're like, Brando doing Shakespeare? But actually, he pulled it off. Diverse. Brando. Classic Sigma, by the way. Anyway, Dylan. There's nothing the guy can't do. Painter. We talked about that. He's been a painter for years. But then he decided, I'm going to do gates. You know, iron gates. He's an iron worker. He welds iron gates. Also, a train car. He acquired a train car, okay? And he welded all of the walls of it to tell a story. And it's a work of art. It's not one work of art, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. I think there's a roof to it. At least there's 4. And each panel, each wall, is its own work of art, and he welded it all together with his bare hands and metal and a blowtorch and a steel mask over his face. Little guy, shorter than me, hands probably smaller than mine, can't even play guitar anymore because of his back, because he's a million years old. He's 80 years old. He can't even hold a guitar. So what did he do? Decided to take a piano instead. And he's a great pianist. He's been playing piano for years. Now he doesn't even play piano sometimes. He just sings, holding the mic and singing. He doesn't even need to play piano. But when he does, he's great at it. But even so, not able to pick up a guitar or hold a guitar for 90 minutes, the guy can still pick up a blowtorch and build a train car at 80. And where is it now? It's in France, like touring wineries. You know, I guess they roll it on train tracks from one winery to the next throughout the south of France, and that's where it is. And then, of course, when he's on tour, he paints, and he's got books of his paintings. And he's a very good painter. You know, not just late era Picasso swirling colors around, but pictures of diners and you know, gas stations and things like that. His own unique view of America, because he spends his life driving in a bus up and down America. And then he flies to other places in the world. But he's on tour all the time. So the guy is endlessly creative and intellectually curious, which are hallmarks of the Sigma. He doesn't care what the trends are, Sigma. He goes his own way. He is driven. He's focused. He's intelligent. He is gifted. The Sigma is usually gifted in a certain way, or in many ways. Anyway, I've got this cool shirt. But Sigma, if you're looking for a Sigma in the modern world, Bob Dylan, hands down, classic Sigma. And you can read more about that and the Sigma and other related topics in my book, Tracking the Lone Wolf, The Sigma at Work, at Home, and at Play. It's available in paperback and for Kindle and in audiobook format. Should be available in audiobook format by now. If not, stay posted because it will be soon. That process takes a little time. Okay, that's pretty much it. This book is free for all this week until Friday at midnight. And it's free to your friends. Send them the link. They can download it. I think one person can only download it once. But I think everybody should download it once. I really do feel like this is a book that everybody should read. Everybody in the world. And they should all buy 2 copies. That would be grand. Okay, so otherwise, Uh, Tune in. There's a YouTube. There's a new show. If I haven't mentioned it, Tracking the Lone Wolf. It's a new program twice monthly on the 1st and the 15th of every month. It's on its own channel called at Tracking the Lone Wolf. It's YouTube, Fletcher Roden at Tracking the Lone Wolf. There's a link to one of the shows below. Follow the link, subscribe to the channel, and then watch the shows and get your copy of the book here free, and spread the word and all that. Also, there's a rap single for this project. There's a theme song for the show, and the theme song is available as 2 downloads, either a jazz song or a rap song. So check out the rap song. There's also a video for the rap song on these channels. It's all good fun, and I hope you'll stay tuned for more. So that's pretty much it. As for Fletch Me Anything, this is about a half-hour show. I go on for about a half hour. It's Monday through Friday. I post around noon. I leave them up for about a week. So you should subscribe to the channel so that you can check out the reruns before it's too late. I do take them down sooner rather than later. 2 weeks is even kind of a long time. So check them out, enjoy it, tune in again. That's, I guess, all I can say. So it's Fletcher Roden signing off for Fletch Me Anything until next time. Hoping that until next time, you are happy and stay healthy. Bye, Mary.